In the last lecture, you saw how to work with table, how to extract data from a table, okay, how to add data to a table, and these things like that. So now let's try to see how you can actually create a table by yourself. Last time we imported a table, okay, from a text file, but we want to generate a table by ourselves. Okay, so let's take a look. Say for example, this is a table that we want to create by ourselves. Okay, so these are the name column, these are the student ID, this is gender, CGPA, and department, 5 information, 5 column. Okay, so what we do to create a table like ourselves, we create different columns like this is the name column, okay, this is the IDs, these are the genders, this is the CGPA, this is the department. I have already written those things by previously, so that we can do a bit faster. One thing to take a note here is that I have created everything as a column vector, not as a row vector, as a column vector, everything column wise, because our data, when I am actually working with table, everything is column wise. Okay, and each column has a name. This is the column name. Okay, these are the ID or gender. This column is identified by this name. Okay, and this is similar to the Excel file. If you have worked with Excel file, you will see similar types of structure. Now the question is how we can actually create a table. Okay, the way is actually very simple. So this is the name that we want to give our table. Say data. We call a function called table. We call a function called table, as simple as that, and we just actually name the variables inside. So first variable was name, then there was ID, okay, then there was gender, CGPA, okay, and department. Okay, just place all the names of the column names inside, and if I call it like this way, it will automatically create a table. Okay, so this is the table, the same table here. Okay, now I have a table like this in our MATLAB command window. Okay, so as you can see in the workspace, if you look at it, our data is now a 6 by 5 table. There are 6 rows and 5 columns. So if I want to extract the IDs, if you remember, we can do like this way, data dot ID. Okay, I can extract all the IDs like this way. So if I write data dot gender, okay, I can extract all the genders of the students. Okay, so M stands for male, F stands for female, and this is a string array. Okay, now so this way you can actually create a data. You can also add another column here. If you remember from data dot something like that, you can just add another column here. So I believe you can work with table manipulation now. But what I want to show you even more is that okay, let's take a look. One other thing, we can do it this way. So this is our data, right? So let's do something different. Let's place the name a little bit later, department, then we do some we place something that is called row names. Okay, then place the name. Okay, and let's name it data 2 to differentiate between these two. Now if you see between this our original table and this table, so in the original table this whole portion was our data, but now what we did here, we defined the name column as our row name. Now this one is actually now considered as the name of the row. Previously we only had the name of column, now we also have name of the row. I can identify all of this data by this row. So say for example, if I write data 2, this was our second data 2 comma Sami. Okay, of all, if I do it like this way, so all the data of Sami, this name is actually extracted, okay, from this data second table. Okay, things like this. So we can also do it like this way if I want. Say for example, 1 comma will give us the first data. So but the difference is, instead of this linear indexing like this way, we can also define one of the row by names. Okay, similarly, instead of name, I can also name the rows by their IDs. Okay, in that way I can identify row by their IDs. Instead of this 1 2 3 4, I can identify by their IDs like this way. Okay, you can do it and try to do it by yourself a little bit. Now um, so let's take a look at here. Okay, let's take a look here. uh, when you are going to the variables, okay, and this one is opened. If you try to take a look, there is a drop down bar. If you see here, something like this will appear, 6 by 1 string, because this is a string variable. Then here id, that is a double variable. The gender is again string. Okay, the cgp is again double, and the department is again string. So this is actually the data type we are using. Now I want to introduce you to another data type. Okay, so that is called categorical data type. Okay, so far we have worked with table data type. Now I want to introduce another one, that is called categorical data type. Okay. These are actually related and very important for you to understand and know, at least have some idea about those things. So what is actually categorical data type? So categorical data type is something like this. Okay, let's try to take a look. So our original data was this. This was the data. Say I want to convert this column, instead of string, this is a string type data. I want to convert it a categorical type data. So let's see what we can do. So I do something like this, data dot gender. So this will extract this one. I want to make it categorical type. So I just write like this way, categorical of, okay, data dot gender. Okay. Okay. Now see the difference between these two. As you can see, previously our data was a string. Our data was a string. This gender column was a string data, but now it has actually converted into categorical data. It is no longer a string, but as you can see, this M and F. What does that actually mean? What is the difference? Okay, so the difference will actually become more clear. So there is another function that is called summary. If I try to do summary, it will actually give us a summary of the table. Now if I do like this, summary of data, as you can see, the variable name was a 6 by 1 string. The id was, this is the, so when I am summarizing this table, so I get the minimum value, this one, maximum value, median value. When it comes to gender, as you can see, the gender has two values. It is a categorical type. Female is 2 and male is 4. Okay. Then we also have the cgp and department. Now let's take a look at our original data was, say for example, this was our original data. Okay, now if I want to summarize this thing, okay, summary of this data. Now as you can see, our gender is a 6 by 1 string. Okay, everything is same, just on, I just only changed this one. I actually made it like this way. So when I actually convert a column into a categorical type, as you can see, it can actually differentiate between this male and female. Previously try to understand, previously this male and female, they are actually individual elements, but when I actually categorize those things, this whole group, this our whole data is actually categorized into two categories. One is male and one is female, and we can actually easily extract by their category. Okay, so I have actually created this thing. So if you actually just try to take a look and go through those things, I believe you will be able to understand. I have added different things, so try to go through those things. I believe it will be clear. So this is actually, so to categorize this data, okay, for now it may not be that much apparent, but when you are actually working with very large data, say for example all the students of IT, okay, so when you have all the students of IT, okay, and if you have another column like this way, say year column, okay, say for example different batches, and if you say for example that that can contain 10,000 students ID, 10,000 students. Now if you make your year value, if there is another column I add the year, if you categorize those things, so you can actually easily extract all the information of a particular year, or all the information who are female, all the information who are male, all the information of the students that are actually from outside. Okay, this way by categorizing data, you can actually extract very easily. Okay, so I believe you actually got the idea.